Brad Wharton here, enjoying this lovely London summer. As you can see, it's Cage Warriors 174 fight week is upon us. We've got this huge $50,000 prize fighter coming up. Now, as you can see, I need a trim for this big occasion, so we're going to check out the good people of Pall Mall Barbers. I'm going to get a fresh trim and I'm going to get answers to your questions about Cage Warriors, prize fighter, MMA, and all that good stuff. Let's check it out, guys. How's it going, guys? Brad, nice to meet you. Got a little bit hard at the back, yeah. It's the first time I've ever been filmed having a haircut in my entire life. I'd love to go back to Sweden with Cage Warriors. We've had a fantastic event already there a few years ago, watching my man Nicholas Dalby compete. Fans were fantastic, fights were fantastic, and there's always been a great Scandinavian presence on Cage Warriors. So, you know, Alexander Löw competing in the prize fighter tournament on July 20th. I'm sure he'd love to take Cage Warriors back to Sweden at some point. Look, that's what people are doing these days, right? You know, the Contender Series has been a great way for fighters from various parts of the world to showcase what they've got, get in front of an audience they might not ordinarily been able to get in front of. And look, this is a sport about opportunities and risks, right? When an opportunity presents itself, are you going to be the guy that takes that risk? Are you going to dare to be great? We saw George Hardwick do that. Look, no one's forced to do this. You know, he could have had another fight in Cage Warriors or two and gone directly to the UFC. I'm sure he's certainly got that level of talent about him. But, you know, he took the chance. Didn't pay off for him, but I'm sure it will next time.
What's the chances we see the Mohawk back?
Well, I think it looked good like 15 years ago, but I am considerably older and fatter now, so I don't think I can pull it off. And also, the missus said no, so. I don't think it is for everybody, which is why it's pretty awesome. The 6 guys who've entered this one are also good, and you know, we've been talking about this in the office. Like, there's no combination of those 6 guys that we think is going to produce any bad fights. But yeah, you're right, it's not for everyone. I think former Cage Warriors fighters who do really well in prize fighter, maybe someone like Jack Marshman, you know, just a big knockout puncher who can go out there and clean guys out early on. You know, we saw the last one-night tournament Cage Warriors did. Jack Cartwright went in there probably as the bookmaker's underdog and was able to get 2 quick knockouts, and that's exactly what you want in a tournament. So yeah, maybe a big hitter like John Phillips or Jack Marshman. I think probably Stefano Paterno, you know, a former champion, you know, did really well in Cage Warriors, got a sick knockout to win the title, and you know, he lost the belt to Ross Houston, but that was a classic, all-time classic Cage Warriors fight, and you know, truly could have gone any way. Recently came back to the promotion, got a 6 submission win, and he's in action next weekend as well. So yeah, free. I'm sure we'll be cheering on from Italy, as we will all be from Cage side. I know you, pizza. Sorry, Alfredo. I guess this is old news, right? Because they all are getting title shots. So you win the prize fight tournament, not only do you walk away with 50 bags, you are the #1 contender in your division. So I know Liam Gittins is going to have a very close eye on this tournament. I think he's given his prediction as Alexander Löw, right? So I don't know if that's purely who he genuinely thinks will win or just the guy that he wants to fight. I know he wants to try and speedrun Luke Riley's effort against Löw. So yeah, the winner of this tournament will be the #1 contender. So going to be some pretty interesting things coming for the welterweight division and then the 2 other weight classes that we'll be announcing towards the end of the year. Well, it's funny you should say that, because about 10 years ago, I pulled off what I consider the greatest April Fool's Day prank in MMA history, and I sent out a bogus press release announcing Cage Warriors Benidorm, which got picked up by a lot of news websites, and poor Ian Dean and Graham Boylan's phones went off the hook, people trying to get a free holiday to Benidorm in the summer. So eventually we actually had to take it down, but for those 4 hours, it was some of my greatest work. So look, why not? Why not make the dream a reality and take Cage Warriors to Benidorm this summer? I'm going to say the Cage Warriors fight with the best hairstyle at the moment is Sergio Gavinelli. I mean, it takes some man to wear a mullet with that much confidence, but to be honest, if Gavinelli came in with pigtails and a bow in his hair, I don't think anyone's saying anything to that guy. Absolutely savage. I mean, it depends if we're getting off the island or not. I think if there's a guarantee that we get off the island, I'll probably say maybe Harry Hardwick. I think that'll be quite an entertaining time. I think the conversations will be quite deep and philosophical. If there's not a guarantee that we get off the island, I don't think it matters because I'm going to end up getting eaten or worse. So yeah, it doesn't really matter. Actually, I'm going to change my answer. I'm going to say Conor McGregor because he's got a yacht and he could come and rescue us. I think it's got to be Tobias Harila. You know, he comes out to the Purge soundtrack. He's already prepped for some kind of apocalypse, and he's probably the most terrifying guy on the Cage Warriors roster. So I think if the apocalypse does come, I'm going to be safe hiding behind him. Or Charles Joyner, he's like 7 feet tall. Well, Luke Riley, after an incredible run through Cage Warriors, is going to be competing on the Contender Series this summer. You know, before that was in the works, he really had his heart set on the Cage Warriors title, and Harry Hardwick's obviously the man that holds that belt, and you know, what a fight that would have been. Look, we're all going to be massively behind Luke on the Contender Series, as we are whenever someone graduates Cage Warriors and moves on to Contender or the UFC or the Ultimate Fighter, as so many have done this summer. But after that, who knows, you know, fingers crossed he'll be in the UFC, he'll be competing on the biggest stage of them all. If he does end up back in Cage Warriors, then, I mean, there's not an amount of money that you could tell me would be unreasonable for a ticket to watch him fight Harry Hardwick. Oh, you know what I should have said for the post-apocalypse one? What? Send in a para. I think if you look at any athlete, right, they tend to be a suspicious bunch, you know, whether it's a bit of tape on the sock for a football player or having something written on their hand wraps or having their hands wrapped in a certain way. You know, that mental side of combat sports in particular is such an important thing, you know, that mindset that you've got going in. And a lot of guys, they have that mindset of look good, feel good. You know, they want to go and get their beard done, they want to go and get their hair done before they fight because it makes them feel, you know, makes them feel fresh, makes them feel cool, makes them feel calm, makes them feel ready. And they're looking to put on a show as well as just win the fight. So I think, you know, something like grooming, fashion, all that kind of stuff is very important for high-level athletes. Oh, that's perfect. I've waited so long to look like this again. Thank you very much. Yeah? Brilliant, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Love it, love it.
Guys. Thank you so much.
Well guys, there we go. I've had the fresh trim thanks to Aldo here and all the good people at Pall Mall Barbers. All that remains is Cage Warriors 174 Fight Week. Saturday, July 20th, coming your way live on UFC Fight Pass, or if you're in London and you want to be there in person, you can get your tickets at cagewarriors.com. It's the 50k prize fighter, it's a stacked night of action, and we will see you there.